ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, everybody in attendance as usual, and all the people who are newly here. This is the Bold Prediction Sports Media Podcast. He's Mr. KC from the A13. I'm that dude with the beard. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, free agency is cracking. It's on fire. It's going crazy. A
Mm.
lot of moves, a lot of unexpected things happen today. I'm sure we'll touch on quite a few of those things. Mr. KC, what's going on, my man? How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Just trying to stay grounded, stay afloat, and with all this wildness that's blowing around, seems like if you're not buckled in, you will be traded or in this NFL season.
hmm Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people, uh, so to speak, fly off the shelf at this point. A lot of things interesting as far as re-signing certain players too, from what I've seen from certain teams, especially with the Eagles. But
Hmm.
Chiefs Kingdom news, as you all know by now, Juju is off to Patriot land. He's going to play with Belichick and the boy Mac Jones and possibly win the AFC East. I already said a couple of weeks ago they was already had a chance to do it just because Buffalo's that bad. And I did pick them last year, so hey, we'll see. Maybe the Juju effect will be enough residual to carry over. We'll see what happens. Um, Kalen Saunders got him a deal today. He's heading to the
Hmm.
New Orleans Saints. So big ups to him. Congratulations to him. He's actually a guy I would have tried to keep. So I don't know if there was a money difference or if they even offered him anything. That's a mystery. But we also picked up a big signing. Uh, former Jacksonville Jaguar. I'm not even sure how to say the name, Mr. Casey. How do you even pronounce that? I haven't even given it a
Uh,
try.
I'm not the namer extraordinaire, you know what I mean? But he's a pretty. I'm just glad they moved on from Orlando Brown Jr. like we both had predicted.
Yes, sir. Because there was no point, and like I said, it was too much giving up for this dude who I knew wasn't even going to be able to
Hmm.
stick around. So, but now, yeah, now that we've gotten that out the way, um, who else do we lose? Oh, Juan Thornhill, another guy who I was advocating that we didn't. I was hoping we wouldn't keep, and we didn't. We let him go because I feel like the young boy Cook, or even somebody else we can find, maybe because we're opening up some money. It seems, and I'm thinking Brett Veach is going to make the most free agent moves we probably ever
Yeah.
seen him do since he's been here. It already seemed like a lot has happened, and this is and it's little to nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we
But
paid an offensive tackle. I'm guessing to the left hand side too. I would imagine for the money they paid him. So it'll
right,
be
I'm
interesting to
thinking
see what they do to replace Wiley. Maybe it's
they're still in on Lucas Niang. I think they're really gonna hope that he can be the guy to fill in that
hmm
spot. But we definitely need some depth, and we could use a lot of it there, especially at that spot, in my opinion. Because I would have tried to keep Wiley too. I wonder what the money difference on that one was too, because he was the Swiss Army knife of the line. So things happen.
yeah. I think it was a little more than what I would have wanted to pay him. So the tackles personally,
Yeah, no, because he's trying to command a dollar amount that
in
doesn't
like
make a
a
lot of sense.
back fashion.
Yeah. We also see Darren
Well,
Waller.
speaking
He's
of,
no longer a Raider. There's just been a lot of things going on. But what was you going to say, Mr. Casey? Look like we got a slight delay there.
oh, you're good. Free agency since you're talking about it and trades and whatnot. Um, I kind of like that Darren Waller move for the Giants. If you look at it, they took that third round pick that they got for Tony and turned it into Darren Waller. So it essentially you traded Tony for Waller. for Waller. That's the trade look a lot better in my eyes for them.
Yeah, especially now since Kadarius Tony ended up being a factor in us winning the Super Bowl. So it this definitely helps them save a little bit of face. But it also makes me wonder what kind of position they're trying to put Jimmy G in. Now that you've went and found your quarterback of the future, and I told people, remember we talked about Jimmy G was going to be a hot commodity, uh, and they went and got him. They went and got their man, and I don't know how much of an upgrade he is from Derek Carr, but my thing is, if all he's got down there is DeAndre
He
and
is.
the lack of a running game, really, we'll see. We'll see what happens if they can. I think they're gonna. I think they let Josh Jacobs go, or they're talking about trading him. He was in the midst, I thought, of conversation. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't know what they're
I think
doing.
he's a free agent.
Oh, he's already. See, yeah, I'm not sure. I had to check that out. But man, we're gonna see. A lot of these teams are self imploding. Like I said, they went all in, spent all their money last year. Now they figure these things ain't working out, and Kansas City just keeps getting better without spending anything. Is how they're looking at it. And I think, of course, as tradition here, we're gonna see an overhaul, some kind of big move situation come from the Chargers. Whether they be them cut somebody to try to get something else, or try to be like, oh, it's just the final piece that helped them beat Kansas City, or something like that. You know what I mean? You know how they like to do, build the narrative. Bobby Wagner will
Yeah,
somehow
I
end
think.
up in the AFC West, but not a chief, I'm sure.
Yeah, I
You know
think
how
they're
they like
doing a
to give
lot
them.
to try to. They're doing a lot to kind of juggle this kind of last chance of a season to be competitive for the Chargers, in my opinion. They're going to run into a serious cap situation when it comes to having to pay Herbert, and it's just right around the corner. And
Right.
they're going to have to blow up that team, I believe.
And I'm right
So
there
we'll
with you,
see
but
what they
remember,
do
I
with
said
this
they need
last
to.
chance season.
They need to blow it up now. Matter of fact, when we do the next series, I want the Chargers on mine. I know how to fix them.
Mm.
It's like playing Minecraft. You fill the room full of TNT, you light that bad boy. You gotta blow it up. You gotta blow it up, and build it up from scratch, baby.
Well,
Yes,
then I'm going to
sir.
have to end up with the Chiefs because if I end up with the Lions and the or with the Broncos and the Raiders, that's just too much heavy lifting to try to
Don't
try to fix
don't
those
worry.
two teams.
Don't worry. I'll break my back with Vegas. You
Yeah,
can.
good luck.
Don't worry.
Yeah, that's some.
I'll break it.
I don't know if I don't know if that's worse than Denver or not, but I feel like it is. Uh,
Ooh, they're both fighting for fourth, so I don't know. We'll have to see. It's the battle for fourth place.
yeah, absolutely. So speaking of fixing teams, let's hop into it. I'm ecstatic. We're doing the NFC North this week, and
Mm.
there's a couple teams in this NFC North that we both are just probably a few teams really. This is a fun division for us.
It really is. It's one of my favorites. Actually, y'all know how I was on the North during, especially during this last NFL campaign, and rocking with them Vikings, the Kings in the North of last year, and even with the Bears. I was like I said, man, I kept saying all year they're just a few pieces away, and now things are starting to shift, and we're gonna see what I've been talking about: the evolution of Justin Fields, them trading away that first overall pick done solidified what I've been trying to tell the haters all along, that they weren't going to move on from Justin Fields. Why would you? He's a baller. He has, in my opinion, he has more upside than Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. I really think Justin Fields can be great, and we need somebody great in the
Mm,
NFC. I can see it. But like I said, he'll show you. He was showing the flashes
it's
last
hard.
year with nothing around
He,
him.
but yeah, and that's what you really want to see, and it gives you promise. Is if you've got a quarterback that's still producing on a trash team. It's easy
On
to
a
be
trash
successful
team.
on an okay team. Yeah, if you like Josh Allen and you inherit a playoff team, you can ride that success for a little bit.
You can ride that
But when
wave.
you're stuck with Yeah, when you're stuck with the Bears,
Even Justin Herbert, like I
ugh,
said, look, he didn't step into a terrible Charger situation. They was pretty decent. They were
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Like I'm saying, like they didn't step in. The only person who stepped into a dumpster fire was Russell Wilson, but he was already in a dumpster fire that he started out in Seattle, so he just traded trash cans.
yeah. I
But
think Joe
thank you,
Burrow
Gino.
was. I think Joe Burrow going into Cincinnati wasn't into the best of position either. They kind of
No,
they did build around him though, so it really helped him. But
yeah,
he
I would
didn't
say yeah.
he didn't get a leg up like a lot of other
No,
quarterbacks.
he sure didn't, but he got a boost. He didn't get a leg up though. But they did say, "Hey, we're gonna go and get some of your guys, and we'll bring
Yeah,
them
and
down here. We're
it was
gonna get
smart.
you." Yeah, and it was the best thing they could have ever done. So, um, fixing these Chicago Bears. So they don't have a quarterback problem. I've been saying it all year. QB1 is set. Now they done showed the NFL and proved to Justin that they all in on them, just like how they should be by trading number 1 overall pick. So now we jump into the picks they got and the needs they have. They need receivers. They need linemen. They need defensive linemen too. Um, Let me see here. Need a running back too. And now you have two options as far as where you can get running back. Really a couple people. Ezekiel Elliott's available now. You spend a little money, you go get Zeke, another Ohio State Buckeye with another one. Boom, you build the energy. And then with the ninth overall pick, you go and get my boys. No, well, maybe. Ooh, I didn't even think about taking a wide receiver there when I was doing my notes originally, ladies and gentlemen. I was thinking they go ahead and take a lineman at that point, but like or a tackle like Dewan Jones from Ohio State. Either way, you get somebody, you get some Buckeye there, regardless. Either a wide receiver or you get a left tackle. Either way, and you build that line up to where you can keep Justin safe, so he don't have to scramble for his life. And Dewan Jones is not only a wall of a man of a creature, he's an absolute beast, especially in the run game. So you get that going. You got two more picks in the first round. Well, not in the first round, but you got in round two, pick number 53, and then pick number 61. Boom.
Mm.
You go and get you another wide receiver. Well, no, you go get you a tight end this time. And then after that, you go and get you a safety, which I think that you need, unless you're going to shop in free agency. There's a few options available, but I think you would want to stay young in this kind of situation because you're building fresh here. And I think with the addition of what they already have, that they could be feasible
I could
with
see
just the
Juan
draft pick.
Thornhill on a decent little deal
Yeah,
going there too.
Juan Thornton. Oh, that's what I said. He went to the Browns.
Oh,
Shout
okay,
out
I
to you.
missed that.
Shout out
I
to
missed
your
that. Sorry.
boys. Deshaun Watson was like, yeah, let's get him out here. I don't know if that's what happened, but yeah,
Right.
he's out in Cleveland, so he knows his championship runs are done. But he's
Yeah.
got two. He's grateful. Go and make your little 30 million, man. Yeah,
Hey.
congratulations. I We wasn't gonna give it to you, and cause I know you ain't worth it. I've seen you play, Jack.
No, he's not. But
That's what
I liked him, but
I
he
thought
never
he was.
really
He
produced
didn't
for me.
have that. Yeah, he reminded
Yeah.
me of Sandra Cummins. We had a whole lot of guys who had. Anyway, we're not gonna talk about Chiefs right
Right.
now, but still. So you got two picks, like I said, in the second round. Then in the third round, you literally have the 64th pick. So you got virtually three picks in a row that's within the next 10 picks. So you're pretty much going to get everybody you want there. So that's more than enough to build up this offensive line and the defensive line and probably find you, like I said, another safety. In the fourth round, they have the 103rd pick. They got the 133rd pick, the 137th pick. Dude, they're going to be fine.
How many is
Yes.
that in the top 150?
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
Sheesh. Sheesh.
Yes, seven.
Seven just in the top 150.
Top
How
one.
many draft picks are we looking at overall for the Bears?
Let me jump back to that because I was going to tell you another few prospects who I put on, who they should put on their list that I got on my list for them. Let me see. So that's a grand total. Where we're at here: seven, eight, nine. Hold on, seven. They got 10 total picks.
and 7 of them are in the top 150.
Seven of them are in the top 150. The eighth one
Sheesh.
is actually pick 159, so you might find a jewel there.
Yeah, that's
So
still not terrible.
that's what I'm
Jeez.
saying. So yeah,
Man, what kind of cap space are the Bears looking at? Do we got? I feel like the Bears should have a lot of money to
no, their
spend.
money situation was pretty good here. Let me close out because I made the mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you now, I pulled the tabs up on my computer, but if I was doing that, you'd hear all the clicking. So I'm pulling them up. You know how Apple works, sliding them back and forth here, y'all. So just letting you know. Um, but the draft situation, not the draft situation, the money situation wasn't bad. I want to say they were upwards. Here we go, cap space. Go from my history. Yeah, it was upwards of, they still got about 45 million.
Woo! All the money in the world right now.
Right.
45 million.
And
You
who else have they, let me see here.
could you
I think
see? I've heard of a lot of a name that I've seen thrown out a lot is Orlando Brown Jr. to Chicago to kind of help that running situation, that kind of the offensive line, and I could see that being a good fit for him too.
I can see that, but I actually had him pegged to go to another team in the North on a
Uh oh.
different on a
Uh oh.
different conversation. But
Mm.
yeah, that's pretty good. No, for sure. Um, who they got income? I believe didn't they already? I thought the Bears signed Tremont Edmonds. They went and got, yeah, they got Edmonds from Buffalo. So that's why I mean you can use another one of those picks on another linebacker just to add depth, but other than that here, yeah, they're looking good. Nate Davis. So they picked up quite a few people. So with that in the draft, I think the Chicago Bears make a roaring attempt to win the North next year. Um, I they should have all the talent, like I said, and really you can go and get any running back you want almost in this free agency. And I like I said, I think Zeke, they can even get Clyde Edwards. You just get you a
Hmm.
guy who's competent enough to move the rock and to catch the ball. Because Clyde is not a bum. He just wasn't better than Pacheco. You
Right.
know, like when a grown man shows up, the kids can't play no more. So that's just how it goes. Um, go get Zeke. That's all. I think that'll be perfect. Chicago will be a refreshing situation for Zeke Elliott too.
I
Give
don't
him an
know.
opportunity to showcase himself again
I
with a
think I would.
revamped line.
I think if I'm them, I might dodge that Zeke bullet and maybe use that pick that 150. What was it, like 158 or whatever?
159, yeah,
159. Yeah, so
and
pick
go get you
somewhere
a
around
guy.
there. Yeah, go get you a guy. You got a little luxury there. Some solid picks. You can even, fourth, fifth round, you're still getting a quality running back.
Zeke, you come on down for this 1 year, 6 million. They'll come on down there. He'll play. And then if they get a good run going, they'll give him a 3 year or something with the
Mm.
21 that he was gonna make.
That sounds like a roll of the dice to me. I don't know.
They got to roll the dice. At this point, it can only get worse, or it can get extremely better.
Yeah, true. I don't know
Because
how
they
much.
got the capital to do so. Like I said, that trade and that first overall pick really opened them up as far as being able
Yeah,
to make moves and going to get guys. Like I said, you can go get you an Alabama guy. You can go get you can get a couple people here. Especially like I said in that top few. Will Anderson will be there. The boy Nolan Smith from Georgia. They're gonna have a lot of people who's available and who are probably gonna be instant impact kind of players for you.
yeah, and I really like that trade for the Bears because with the Panthers, that first round draft pick next season is still going to be a quality draft pick. I just don't see that fixing the team for them. And you picked up DJ Moore, which was man,
Hmm.
talk about a big upgrade to their wide receiver group.
Right.
I was pretty stoked about that.
No, yeah, DJ Moore. Like I said, who? I think they got somebody else too. Matter of fact, they got not two tight ends, two linebackers. I think it's TJ Edwards. That's who it was.
Mm,
I had to think in my mind. I'm like, I know it was somebody else they got. So like I said, they're making moves, especially on defense, and I think they signed one guy on the line. He was a Lion. Was it Nate Davis? Let me look that up real quick. Let's see. Oh, he wasn't lying. He was a Titan, but yeah, Nate Davis.
oh yeah.
So they've already bolstered the line a little bit. Like I said, bro, this is a skill player situation for them. Like, see, you go and get you another left tackle, or even if it is Orlando Brownington Jr., if you want to pay him that money that he's looking for. But they're like, look, man, the team who just had you in the Super Bowl wasn't even gonna pay you that. We're not gonna give it to you.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
So
It'll be interesting to see what the market does for him.
I wonder if this is just going to be a humbling experience. Maybe he
Mm,
sits out there and then nobody offers him the money he looks for, and then he comes back to Kansas City on something cheaper, on something
yeah.
we would have gave him anyway. Like, hey
Right.
man, this the nature of the beast. Because for real, this draft, like I said, is full of guys who you can get. That's what I'm saying. I hope we draft one or two. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like we need to solidify that left side for sure with just at least one quality guy because we're solid everywhere else at this point. I believe that we're really solid. We just want to add some depth.
Yeah, and I feel like the Bears got a lot of moves they can make to be extremely competitive. So I'm excited to see what they do this next season.
Yeah, yeah, especially in those first few rounds, it's gonna be a doozy. All of
Hmm.
them are picks that they traded for, which is amazing. Good GMing on their end.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. KC, regale us. How we gonna fix your first team, man? And who's the first team we gotta fix?
The first team is the team with the championship belt for the NFC North, and that is going to be the Minnesota Vikings. Now, you may be asking, we each do two teams, and I picked the Vikings first because they're the team that's going to fall off and has a lot to work with. I don't think they win it next season. So let's get into it and let's talk about how we can possibly make me wrong and fix this team and get them to where they need to be.
All right.
So let's start out with a kind of an issue for the Vikings, and that's cap space. We're $2 million in the hole currently, so we still need to do a little wiggling and maneuvering, a little freeing up some money, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of give us some freedom. Now, some big losses for the Vikings. Obviously, some big names to stick out to you are going to be Patrick Peterson, pretty
Mm-hmm.
big star cornerback, tough guy. Didn't have the greatest of seasons, but still a top tier type
Okay.
cornerback in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a big loss to him. Adam Thielen. Let's talk about that for a second. Um, we couldn't
Something's
afford to
telling
keep
me
him.
he'll end up in red.
He
I'm
might. Be
hoping.
interesting to see what he does. They lost Dalvin Thomas and their defensive
Mm-hmm.
tackle, Eric Kendricks, and stuff like that. And they've already signed a couple people. They got Byron Murphy Jr. from the Arizona Cardinals, and
That's decent.
I don't know if that's a real replacement for Peterson or not. I feel like that's more of just kind of a making sure you got a guy on the roster kind of situation for them. They also got Garrett Bradsbury, a center, and Marcus Davenport, an outside linebacker, and I really like that move. I thought that was pretty good. Now, looking at the Vikings draft, we're also in another kind of a pickle. So, not only do we not have a lot of money to spend,
Man,
we don't really have the draft picks to fill all these holes, right? This is a big
man,
problem.
it
We,
is.
we're we're looking at a total of 5 picks here. You got pick 23 or pick number in first round. You get pick 23, which is still kind of late. Historically, not the greatest of first round situations, but at least he's cheap. Pick 23 is a lot cheaper than a pick in the top 10,
Right.
so you can kind of afford it. After we get out of the first round, we get another pick at pick 87, the third round. That's going to be our only two picks in the top 100. So that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
a you really want to be in like that 3, 4 kind of situation.
You really do.
Um, but we just got two, and then the only other pick in the top 150 is pick number four at pick 119. And then you get outside of that in the fifth and sixth round, they're just kind of late picks. Um, you really kind of need the biggest need is cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to address this situation. So I can see them going for like a Deontay Banks or an Emmanuel Forbes or something like that. Uh, you need a center. You
Right.
need a defensive line. Um, you're really kind of still hurting at that outside and inside
Not long.
linebacker situation.
Right.
We could kind of use the safety. This defense really is going to need some work. This is starting to become a tougher division than what they seen last season. So for that reason, I think they fall off in the North. But I think what they could do, and this is kind of bold, but is trade Dalvin Cook and get some draft picks. You're going to free up a little cap space. You're going to get a pick or two, possibly. And it hurts. Look, Dalvin Cook is he's a top 10 running back all day, every day in the league. And there's a reason you can get some trade value for him. But I really feel like at this point, this is what you got to do. And then use like that sixth or fifth or sixth round pick on some kind of
Next
shenanigan
man up.
replacement. Yeah, next man up replacement. There won't be Dalvin Cook, but maybe you
Mm.
can get a serviceable guy at least. And that's going to give you another pick to go after that defensive line or a linebacker or a center because you'll get a couple decent little picks out of Dalvin Cook, I believe.
You could, but geez Louise, you giving up a lot of firepower.
I know, and it is wild to think of giving up Thielen and Cook in one off season,
Right.
and that's going to make your team
They
improved in
got
some
yeah.
way, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they gotta just draft a corner. They gotta do that. But you gotta somehow keep Dalvin Cook and draft just the guy who's gonna fit in. 'Cause they can get Patrick Peterson back, especially if nobody else goes after him.
Oh, Peterson is gone to the Steelers.
He's already signed with the Steelers.
Yeah, gone to the Steelers,
Good night.
which is a great sign for the Steelers.
Of course.
Uh,
Kings of the North on the other
yeah,
side.
yeah,
The future Kings.
I don't just like
Kenny Pete.
something like that. We'll defer on that statement.
Yeah.
I, uh,
Hmm.
I haven't had enough of this cup yet to make a statement like that.
You better get you a little bit more. Because the Kings of the North come hide your jewelry, lock your windows. You better might as well leave your car doors unlocked because they smash windows out there.
Right.
Hey, the Steelers are coming to town.
Mm, that ain't no lie. But yeah, that's the Vikings. That's the Vikings
Man,
for this off season. I'm excited to see them. See if they can hold on to this championship belt. Kings of the North.
man.
Oh, oh, Kirky Cousins. See if you
They
can do it
gotta do
again.
something. Maybe they can go get Melvin Ingram or something. Or Robert Quinn.
Yeah, we
Maybe
need.
I'll say maybe they oh man.
We just need Kirk Thuggins to be Kirk Thuggins every game and not just non-prime time games.
Hey man, not everybody's ready for prime time.
Mm.
Ooh. How about they trade Dalvin Cook and then sign Clyde Edwards Alaire? That should be a cheap option.
Well, you would have to trade for
Send my
Clyde Edwards.
I
Clyde
don't we
will
didn't
be.
pick up his option, I don't think. So I
Yeah,
think
but
he's just a free agent.
I think he's that'll be after this next season. You pick
I
up
thought this
the
was year four already. Maybe I'm wrong.
yeah, but the fifth he's going into year four. This will be
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I thought he was
So
already in year four.
no,
Okay.
you have to pick up the 5th year option before um, before the off
Right.
season.
Oh, well, yeah. Good night.
So like if you're gonna pick up the
Well, let's trade. We must trade him for Dalvin Cook.
yeah, and you really could. You
Oh
know,
man. Ooh, Dalvin Cook and Pacheco. That'd be too dangerous.
I'd give him. I'd probably trade CH and I'd give him a 3rd round pick or maybe even a second for Dalvin Cook. You know,
I give him a fourth rounder.
Mm, maybe that might get it done. That
Uh,
might. It sounds kind of
They
like
need something in that
it
realm
does.
because they don't have
Yeah,
no picks in that area. They need
yeah.
something right there to stay viable.
I think Dalvin Cook could probably still get a second or a third, and you're just trying to do us a favor by taking CEH at that point.
I'm trying to tell you. And we can get him off. I think they'll go get him. They need him, especially if they need to make free that up, like they said. After they watch what you just said, after they need to free this on up before
Right.
he end up in New Orleans or something, like how all the Chiefs are doing nowadays. They're just going down to New Orleans.
All right. So what's the next team on the list? Who are we going to next? That dude with the beard. I already know, but the folks don't.
The next team who's on the list is a team who just got rid of their biggest problem, potentially, pretty much. It's the Green Bay Packers.
Mm. Is this a fixable team? That's a good
This
question.
team is ready to be fixed. It's ready to go forward. It's ready to move on from this era. So I don't know if the has the trade been official yet? Did they get the
It,
deal done yet? We know it's supposed to happen, but
yeah, Aaron Rodgers said that the only thing that's holding it up is the Packers. So we'll see what the draft compensation ends up being. We're still waiting to find out.
oh yeah. And the Saints just got Jamal Williams, so never mind. They don't need a running back now. Sorry, Clyde. We can't work that one out. Uh yeah, dude. Pretty much the quarterback situation, in my opinion, is done. Aaron's gone. Jordan Love's the guy who's been waiting, who's low key probably the teammates been waiting on too. Somebody who's here, who they know is gonna be here for the team. Somebody who's not out hitting peyote, ain't even decided if he gonna come to work next year or not. You know what I mean? Like, so we can't even prepare the way we want to prepare because we don't even know who's gonna be here. So it's just it relieves a lot of unsurety. Um, After that, really the things that they need to fix out here, we need skilled players, and I think this is finally when Green Bay gets some skilled players because now they actually got the guy they want playing quarterback. They're probably going to go ahead and fill it up. I think they need a safety, a cornerback like they can get Kelly Ringo if they could, a tackle like Jalen Carter or something in the draft. But wide receiver and tight end really is where I'm looking at for them because they need some skill players. They need some guys who can go and get it done. And where are my picks for these? Hold on, y'all. Here we go. So round number one, they got the 15th overall pick.
That's not
So
bad.
you're right. It's not bad at all. You go ahead and either get you a lineman who's a better right tackle than the one, or no, right guard than the one you got, or you go ahead and get you a high value, and I mean high value safety, and or high value defensive end, who's going to be your future star on defense going forward. Like you got to make that kind of move now. I mean, their next pick is in round two, to pick number 45. Go and get you another wide receiver to go on the other side of your number one pick from last year. Get some more help out there, and then maybe probably even get McCole Hardman in free agency on a small little deal to be your third guy. Um, the third pick, pick number 78 overall. You go ahead and address another glaring hole, like I said, which is your D line. If you don't get that with the 15th pick, you go ahead and get your safety there or your linebacker. Somebody who's actually going to make dividends. Good tackler. There's a lot of guys out there. Um, round number 4, they got the 116th overall pick, which is still in the top 150, which we covered here. And you can still find you another quality player. This is where you go and get your tight end, another guy who's going to be a run stuffer for you, but who can catch. There was a guy, what is his name? I have to look him up real quick, that I took a look at. And he was a mountain tight end for. And I mean, if they could draft, I'll get his name here in a second, but if they can get a tight end, like I said, who's just even comparable enough to, I want to say, what TJ Hawkinson ended up being for Minnesota, but somebody who's a little more physical, you go and get you a guy who's really a stuffer, and then you'll improve your run game more because you already got a great running back who's probably top 5 in all reality. Um, with that pick after that, we got pick number. I want to say it is one. It's either 150 or 149. It was. Yeah, it's pick number 149. Their last pick in the top 50 in round 5. Like I said, you find your last jewel there. Maybe another lineman to kind of shore up your defensive rotation because the offensive line is decent. Well, like I said, there's not enough skill players for them to block for anybody in the world. Like if you guys ain't getting open at least a little bit, it don't matter if you got Willie Roaf, Will Shields, and all them out there. Eventually, the line's gonna break, and that's just more of their problem of not wanting to allocate funds to their skill positions.
Yeah, and I feel like Aaron Rodgers, with his elite status as a quarterback, he was really kind of able to elevate some wide receiver talent around him. And I
Hmm.
just don't know if Jordan Love is that talented of a quarterback to really elevate a wide receiver group. So I feel like you really do need to surround Jordan Love with some serious talent to give him a legitimate chance and success.
I hear you on that. I really do. But my only thing is he hasn't really gotten a chance to prove it either. You know,
Hmm.
he might be a guy who comes in and who was like the early Aaron Rodgers, if we got to just use that as an easy example.
True.
Uh, or like I said, or even what we can see from Jalen Hurts. Like I said, we're seeing a new kind of breeze
Or
of
even Geno Smith, someone that
right,
was drafted a long time ago and then finally got his chance to really kind of shine.
exactly. Oh, here he is. I finally found him. His name was because he's huge. Right? He's 6'7", 270. The tight end I was talking about. His name is Braven Spanford. He plays for Minnesota. Dude. Now, because they got him ranked like the ninth best. Well, certain lists, but either way, tight ends don't fly off the shelf. This is not a tight end draft in the NFL league. Like, oh, we need tight ends in the first round. So he's probably going to be around for one of your second or third picks. Now, if you can go and get this guy to go with Jordan Love, like I said, who's a mountain, he's a touchdown machine, dude. And like I said, he's almost an offensive tackle, honestly. So it's like
Mhm.
almost having an extra lineman out there. A guy who can not only pancake a dude and then run and hit a 15-yard catch and go, and probably get about 18 more on the yards after contact. So yeah, we'll
Should
see.
be. Sounds like an interesting little tight end candidate there.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, these tight ends are pretty hard that are coming out. None of them are Kelsey yet, but we're seeing some talent coming out here, and it makes me excited for the future. So we can, when Kelsey finally do hang it up, we can see who's going to be the next to fill probably the biggest shoes of tight end history.
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah, so as far as fixing Green Bay goes here, you need skill players. You need just offense because really they made it to the playoffs almost. They was almost there. They were scratching at the door. You wanted them there. The world was begging for them to get there. Aaron Rodgers tried to tell the world relax and all that. It was too late though. He was too high, too much peyote. This next season of I would say next season of like it's well almost like it's a reality show on the next season of the Green Bay Packers, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen. Well, it's gonna be titled "The Rise of Jordan Love." I'm telling you, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be good if they can really get some pieces around him here. Like I said, even if you can go and get McCole Hardman, you can go and get who else? Who's that other uh, cheap cheap option that I
Maybe like
saw
a
was
DJ
shooting at?
Shark or something.
Yeah, that's what's name. Chark or Shark, whatever,
Shark,
however you
right?
spell it. Shark, yeah, him. Like I'm saying, because I was seeing a lot of people linking him. Or if you can make you a big money move and go and get, well, not big money move, but a decent money move, go get Adam Thielen. Like I'm
Right.
saying, you can make some kind of move. And how much money did they have here?
Oh
Green
yeah,
Bay
I didn't ask that. How much cap space we working with for the old Green Bay
for the old
Packers?
pack slip. After they get Aaron off the books, they should have a plethora of money.
Yeah, that
Uh,
would.
it was like 30 something million, but as of right now, they're at 18 million.
Yeah, but like you said, once you trade away Aaron Rodgers, that just opens up the checkbook completely to really whatever you want
And
to do.
and and not to mention, as far as some of these fixes for them, is probably something that's going to come in that trade package. Shoot, we need
Could
Sauce
be.
Gardner. You want
Well,
you want Aaron Rodgers? We need
uh,
Sauce Gardner.
you can't give up Sauce. I don't think.
Well, we need somebody.
Uh,
We gonna pick something out that defense because that defense
yeah.
was pretty good. Somebody's going, or if not, the Jets are gonna lose. Well, let me see the Jets draft capital real quick. Did we go? We haven't
Well,
done them
and
yet.
the only other problem with that is you're also stuck with Aaron Rodgers if you try to play too big of hardball. So while you could say you want Sauce Gardner, the thing is I know Aaron Rodgers wants to come play with the Jets.
Hmm.
So you can play hardball all you want, but I really feel like a second round pick is about all I can really afford to give up for a drug addict.
Yawn. Because if you
Like,
don't want to give us what you want, that's fine. Aaron ain't got to play because we still got Jordan Love and he's still ready. And you still can't make no kind of deal if he retired
right,
because you still got to holler at us. So
yeah.
the Packers hold the cards. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. I'm
Know
telling
when to
you, the
walk
Jets,
away.
I'm trying to tell you, but the Jets ain't going to do that. They're going to put everything they got in that pot. They probably even
Uh,
trade Zach Wilson to be the backup. So Jordan Love told me, you can get him. We gonna give you everything,
I think
everything.
it'll be a surprisingly cheaper deal than most people would assume.
mm I'm not sure, but they can probably kiss that first round, 13th overall pick, and that second round pick goodbye.
I feel like it's just a second. I
I
don't think
don't
you
think
give up the
so.
first.
It's
I don't think
A. Ron.
I don't think you got to.
The name's too big. You got to do it. You
It'll
got
be
to do it.
interesting.
So this is how they can do it. They'll have to give up this year's first round pick and then like this year's first and fourth round pick, and then the second rounder next year. They gonna get like 3 picks for him.
Mm. No, not this late in his career. I feel like this might be like you might
This
get a
might be
second this year
this is gonna
and
be
a
the
fourth next year.
this is his Brett Favre moment, the resurgence. He gonna take the Jets to the
Yeah.
championship game to lose to Pat Mahomes. The game now we'll finally get Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. He ain't gonna have no excuse not to be there this time, like the other 3 times.
He
Ain't
won't
you
be.
excited? He said he won't be
Yeah,
there.
he won't
He
be.
still won't be
He won't be. No, this will be a great move for the
there.
Green Bay Packers if you're right and they do get big draft compensation. But really, I feel like for them as a franchise, it's probably about time to go ahead and call it a day, anyways, with Aaron.
Mm,
He's
walking
also
in the
announced that
moonlight.
he was the greatest player in Green Bay Packer history. So I thought that was a real interesting self-anointation.
Mm, mm,
But I mean,
that is interesting.
he's got some arguments for it. So well, I'll let the Green Bay's Packers
I let
fans
them have
decide in the
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let y'all decide in the comments. Let us know, was Aaron Rodgers the best Packer of all time?
Mm, all time, all
All
time.
time.
Goodness gracious, that's a long time.
There's a lot of great Packers.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
a lot.
saying, all
Mm,
time.
all
Goodness
time.
gracious! All
Big,
right, well,
big statement. But let us know, folks. Let us know how you feel.
right. Let us know in the comments because I want to see this. I need to know. Green Bay, now it's time for you to stand up. We got to know.
Right.
He's the goat of the Bay. That's green.
Mm,
Is that what it
mm.
is? Oh man. All right. Mm, good night. Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you fix the Packers right now. So we're gonna see the final move of this fixing correlate here soon within the next few days. I hope. I hope this thing don't linger longer than it has to.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
All right. So that about wraps up the North here.
Oh, but wait, we have one final little team, and we saved the best for last on purpose, folks.
Mm.
This is the new champions of the NFC North. You heard it here, folks. If you paid attention to last season, you're not surprised I'm making that statement. But let's get into it. Let's dive deep into how these Detroit Lions finally pull it off, win the NFC North, make the playoffs, win a couple playoff games, and maybe even just maybe make it to the Super Bowl.
Maybe, just maybe. I gotta hear it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ultimate rebuild, brought to you by Mr. KC from the 813. Mm, mm,
All right, well, let's start with some of the kind of issues that we're seeing. First, the biggest issues with the Lions that I did not like at all was they lost Jamal Williams to the Saints for a
mm,
3-year, $18 million deal. They replaced him with David Montgomery, solid running back. I like him,
Chicago.
but he's also a 3-year, $18 million back.
Mm,
And if you asked me
you should have
who I'd
kept the,
rather
but
have,
yeah,
yeah, you should have kept
yeah,
Williams. And I would have liked it to see, but we still don't have an issue of running back because we got David Montgomery. So we're all right with that. Um, we've made some signings. Uh, like Mosley and Montgomery. We got $21 million in cap space, so we got a little bit of money to spend. Um,
is that included with his deal yet?
yeah, with David Montgomery's, yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're sitting at 21, so we're still sitting nice. Still got some money to spend, and what's helping us out there is we're not paying our quarterback, Jared Goff.
He's getting about 20 mil. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, decent. That's good money to be paying
that's
a
okay.
quarterback. That's a
Right,
good contract, and especially for production.
right.
He is left out of the top quarterback conversation almost every time, but he was top six in every category. He was
Yeah,
really probably the best quarterback to not make the playoffs last season. So take that for what you will. Um, Going into the draft, we've got some real solid picks here. We got the
yeah.
number six pick from the Rams. So that trade of Stafford is when it's gonna really start paying off.
Dividends. Right.
Yeah, paying dividends right now. So we got two draft picks in the first round. You got number six and number 18. The number 18 is still a nice high quality pick.
It
And
really
you could
is.
even look at sliding that back slightly to like a pick 25, pick 30 kind of range and pick up even more draft capital. So we
You
can
could.
really do some rebuilding here. I would keep the number six pick, but I would think about trading back that number 18. Unless there's
I was about to say, because if you can get another one of these defensive linemen, one of these studs out here, if they just
mm,
happen to be there, you got to move on that. Because, I mean, well, what do you think they're going to do with the sixth pick? What would you
it's got
use
to be
on that for
Jalen
them?
Carter. It's got to be Jalen Carter from the defensive
Exactly.
tackle from Georgia.
That's what I
And
was
that's
thinking.
why I think you have the potential, if quarterbacks
Him and
don't make
Zach.
a
Ooh,
quick run, someone might want to trade you for that number six pick. But I would keep it, draft Jalen Carter, and think about moving the number 18 back. You can also look at like a Byron Branch of a safety. There's a couple
Hmm.
defensive moves that we could really do to to get there. But besides those two top first round picks, you got two second round picks. We got pick number 48, pick number
Hmm.
55. You get that pick 55 from Minnesota for that TJ Hawkinson deal.
Right.
So that's starting to, you get your, trying to rebuild here. Pick in the third round, pick 86, and that's going to be your picks in the top 150. So it gives you, four there, but all four of
Hmm.
those are going to be in the top 100. So the
Right. Impact.
four, yeah, four in the top 100 is balling, and really is the best draft situation already in this division. You got a fifth and a couple 6 round picks, and the biggest needs is we need to get the interior line fixed and the interior defensive line, especially the interior defensive line. So that's why I think Jalen Carter would be a super big fit there. We also need to get some
Hmm.
cornerbacks. But
Right.
that second and third round is kind of a great location and great area to pick up some corners. But that's why I would also do the move back from 18 to give you some more of those mid round picks to really booster up your cornerback and defensive line situation. Maybe even pick up a linebacker. If you can find a
Ooh.
project quarterback,
How about this? Because
I
you can
would
get you
not be afraid.
with that 18 pick, you can get you a good corner. They can get Dante Banks out of
Hmm.
Maryland, and he's 6'2". You know what I'm saying? They can get them a guy, but to get more
Yeah.
capital, I feel you on that though too. But sheesh.
And that's the same with number six. If there's any kind of slide in quarterbacks, you might also see them do that and draft a quarterback of the future. But uh, I'm in a win now kind of moment. And I'm rebuilding for now and today.
Right.
And that's why
Exactly.
I would still pick Jalen Carter, who's really, he might be an Aaron Donald type.
Right.
I'm big
And
on him.
Donald X.
Yeah, but he
No,
just,
he's a baller, dude. Like I said, between him and what was the old boy from Alabama? They what's his name? I have to look it back
oh,
up. I had my list out. Let me,
oh, I'm bad
let me-
with names.
you
Oh,
know I
what's,
am too. Will
yeah.
Anderson,
Yep, yep,
dude.
there you go.
I'm trying to tell you, man. They
Yeah,
got
he'd be a
some
he- nice
man.
option, and he's going to be available slightly later. But um, I think Jalen
If any
Carter
of them
goes.
available around 31, we taking them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's
There's
for
not
sure.
there's not much hope for probably either one of them, to be honest. But
Man,
we can dream, right?
bro,
And,
yo, yeah, we can hope and dream
yeah,
for
but I think you
sure.
do that. Really, I mean, the Lions are sitting pretty, especially at wide receiver. I like what Jared Goff has done there. The only moves that I really wasn't a fan of was switching Williams for Montgomery. But I mean, that's just really mean nitpicking. He's still got, like I said, $21 million in cap space to add some quality talent to this Lions team. Who, like I said earlier, they weren't in the division. They're taking it.
Right. We'll see. It's gonna be a tough North, man. I think Chicago might mess around and do it
Yeah, I could see it. It could be a real big toss up for me
because
between
Chicago's,
Chicago.
in my opinion, they're sitting in the really in the best position to really win the division. Depending on Justin Fields' health coming in, which he should be fairly healthy, and now that you
Uh,
solidified some spots that was desperately needed, especially on the defensive end, you can solidify that line and get a couple more skill players, man. Because he already, like I said, Calvin really still on his way. So,
yeah, I think the Chicago Bears have the highest ceiling, just because
mhm,
it really depends on what they actually do. But I think the Lions are they're set up with the most in place to succeed in the North.
gotcha. Well, we can see that. That's conceivable.
Yeah,
It's not
we'll wait till
unbelievable.
week 4 when I finally decide to give up on the Lions yet again. But for this off season, I'll be back in love and enjoy the Lions.
Oh my Lancer. He said before I give up on him again. Well, yeah, no, we'll have to just see. We'll see what's going on with that. Um, I think that about covers it,
Yeah.
especially for them boys. Folks, I think we got a little King of the Hill. Might as well boil off here.
Yeah, I think
Little
we got
King of the
time for a
Hill.
quick one.
We
Yeah.
got a quick little King of the Hill time. Everybody know I like it. What are we gonna do? What can I bring to the round table of champions this week? What sport dare speak its name? Hmm. Think I got a taste for some retro basketball.
I like a little retro basketball.
I think I got a taste for some Charles Barkley
Mm,
versus somebody that you love to death, that you hold dear, near to your heart. I just want to hear from your mouth to see how you going with it versus the precious, the beloved Sean Kemp.
oh, psh, 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 psh. Charles Barkley don't want to get a shootout with Sean Kemp. My boy, a
we ain't talking about
certified
this.
shooter. Don't be talking about Sean Kemp out here. We
Oh my
we do
gosh.
drive-bys and whatnot with Sean Kemp. This Kemp Nation over here. Charles
He's
Barkley was
Camp
a bum.
Nation.
He
What?
ain't never accomplished nothing in his life
What?
besides nothing. Uh,
Oh my god.
so we're definitely
You
going
need to
Sean
put that
Kemp.
cup down. You done had too
I
much
had
what's
to
in
pick it
there.
up.
You done had too much what's
I
in there.
needed a little more liquid encouragement.
Oh, he said, what? Oh man, Charles. All right, well, down by the riverside. So if that's the case, oh my goodness. Charles, good night. So we got Sean Kemp going up against the boy Kevin Garnett.
Oh, KG. Oh, that's a tough one. Sean Kemp, baby.
Oh my
Driving
gosh.
by, going right by Barkley. Right by KG. Lighting
Oh,
them up. We shooting them down.
oh, ladies and gentlemen, I really thought that he wasn't gonna go with Kemp on that. So now I see there's only one way to get Kemp off this thing. We got
Mm,
Kemp, Sean Kemp versus somebody else who was out there in the same part of the land. Probably the only shooter that really matters in a shooter situation. Ray Allen,
mm, mm,
Shuttlesworth,
mm.
Denzel's son. What you gonna do?
You gotta bring out these tough
That's
names, these
he's
tough
the only one who
opponents.
I can stir your soul with. I see everybody. Sean
Uh,
Kemp is running off. I
there
had to
was
put another.
actually one other name that had potential, and I
Okay.
really like and appreciate this Ray Allen one because it's gonna make me have to pause for a moment because while the Rain Man is fantastic, let's look at what Ray Allen has really accomplished in his career. Multiple rings, carried the teams often when he won those rings. Look what he did in Boston. LeBron James owes this man a ring. Truly does. He owns him a whole Miami kind of situation down there.
Right. He probably bought him a yacht.
Yeah,
Call
something.
it call it the fourth ring. Here you go, man. I appreciate you.
But I think if I'm gonna have to go down to it and stick with my guns,
Oh my
Sean Kemp,
god.
baby, we out here driving by.
Oh my god. He's just Mr. KC. Just
Rayman.
he just chose violence is all he does.
Yeah, that's all we're doing today.
He's rolling with the shooter. I should have
Man.
pulled out Rasheed Wallace. If
Oh, another tough
that
one. Who I was afraid of was Kevin Durant.
Durant,
I thought,
I was
yeah,
gonna do that, but I'm like, no. I said we going older, but man, I should have pulled Durantula out on him.
yeah. Durant was Ray Allen was tougher than I thought it was going to be because I was
I
kind of in
really
my
thought
head
that
like, oh,
had it.
don't do Durant. So I was like, ooh,
I I
whew.
thought Ray had it. You want to talk about a shooter? I thought Ray had it,
Oh,
but
and he's
Ray, we gotta lay you to rest, man. Mr. KC done put you in the by and by, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Good
See, just
night.
the Rain Man proved even off the court he can shoot. So I'm gonna have to go with my dude.
Oh my God. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Sean
uh,
Kemp, champion of the round table this week. He done put the bodies in the dirt.
yeah, yeah, and really, what we're gonna see is Sean Kemp's my favorite basketball player of all time. So it's really a tough prejudiced prejudiced
You're
title
right.
there.
You're
You could have
right.
said Michael Jordan, and he still wasn't taking the title.
He's
So,
still
to be honest with you, uh, so
unwinnable
sticking with
situation.
basketball, yeah, sticking with basketball, I got a little interesting one here, and I want to see how far this guy rides. And that's the old guy that I think shouldn't actually be on anybody's list, but I'm going to name him anyway. That's Mr. Carl Malone.
Ooh, the
Uh,
mailman.
are you taking Carl Malone or are you taking Charles Barkley?
Oh man. Snatching rebounds like Barkley or taking them to the post office. Saying I got a package for your wife. Ooh. As much of a terrible human being as he is, I'm gonna have to go with the mailman.
Ooh, the mailman.
I'm gonna have to do it.
All right, all right. Let's bring out someone with an actual legitimate career on that named Charles Barkley. And I think this is an interesting one, just because he's kind of doesn't get talked about as much as some other people, but that is old Scotty Pippen.
What? You want to talk about my favorite '90s player besides Kobe Bryant? Scottie Pippen was the heart and soul of them Bulls championships. He been telling the truth about Michael Jordan and how greasy he is. I've never been an MJ fan, and I never will be. Whatever, y'all. I don't care. Scottie Pippen won them titles, and Scottie Pippen just took Karl Malone to the woodshed. It's definitely Scottie
Mm,
Pippen all day, all
oof,
day, all day.
oof. Scotty Pippen.
Easy,
I'll take it.
easily Pippen.
Uh, I'm just glad someone knocked off Malone. I was gonna have to, so I was gonna have to pull out the Kobe just so he didn't win the list.
Mm. Leave that thought.
I'm a throwing
No.
a ringer.
Right, right. Mm-mm.
The Trump card.
Right.
Oh, all right. So we got a kind of a big name with Scotty Pippen. So I'm gonna have to swing big with this one. And I think this guy is probably one of the most underrated superstars of all time. His elite status is underrated, I believe. Then it's gonna go Timothy Duncan.
You just had to do it.
I mean,
You
so
just had to do it.
you put Pippen up there so high. You knew
You
me.
just had to do
You
it.
you, you told me I got to jump. You said if you're gonna do it, you're gonna have to jump. And white people were not very good at jumping, so I had to
Shout
just
out Brent Berry.
yeah, I had to
That's
take
my
out
boy.
had to take out the biggest
uh,
Brit Berrien's impression I could come
uh,
up with.
bro, it's Tim Duncan. It's
Oh, it is.
it's
It is.
Timmy D. Timmy D. Honestly, I know he's underrated, and he don't get enough respect. Like I said, Tim Duncan he was the Yang. He was the Yin. No, yeah, he was the Yang because Kobe was the Yang. There was a 10-year period of basketball. If the Spurs wasn't winning the titles, it was the Lakers. And vice versa. These men both got 5 titles apiece over a 10-year span. Tim Duncan is the cornerstone. He's the best San Antonio Spur of all time. In my opinion, he's by far the best power forward to ever play basketball.
Mm,
And I don't care who you bring to the table. Timmy
mm.
D, Mr. Fundamental. He was a guaranteed 20 and 10 a night. Probably get you about 4 blocks. Man, please. Timmy D all day.
Well, I refuse to have a Bulls left on the list, so I was happy to knock him off.
I refuse to have a bull. Oh, yeah, you chose the right one because there ain't no way Timmy D is that dude. He's the man.
Yeah, I had to swing big. If Pippen seemed like a big name to knock off, so I had to go with them with some big guns and see if
Had
he
to
had a
go with a
chance.
giant.
Yeah, both of them pretty giant
Pretty big,
guys.
yeah. Yeah, Scott is about 6'8". Timmy about 6'10", 7 foot. Yeah, somewhere in there. But either way, Timmy D, man, Mr. Fundamental. I need to get me a Tim Duncan jersey, my
Mm.
boy.
And that would have been an interesting one-on-one game watching Sean Kemp and old Tim Timmy go at it.
Ooh, it would have been because all he would have been trying to do is them explosive plays, and then it would have
Just
cost
dunk
him.
it out.
Right, and
You know
then
what
it
he's
would have
doing?
cost.
He's driving right by him.
He's sure gonna try,
He's
but
driving
most time
right by him,
he gonna get his stuff
shooting.
glassed.
He's gonna drive right by him,
Boom.
shoot.
Mm-mm.
a little drive-by
You ain't,
shoot.
don't you know
Sean Kemp
nobody
does.
fly past Mr. Fundamental unless you talking about 42-year-old Tim Duncan, then you might be able to get that one.
Oh, we're making it
Uh,
rain over here with Rain Man.
Timmy D stepping out, he hitting threes. Sean Kemp ain't ready for that one on one.
No, he Sean Kemp, baby. We
He ain't ready
dunking,
for that one on
we
one. You're
driving,
right.
we shooting. Bang
And
bang
you're
bang
losing.
bang.
And you're
Sonic
losing.
game.
Oh Lord, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this up. Mr. KC has officially lost his mind this evening. We'll leave it up to y'all in the comments, especially on that last one. But Tim Duncan, you are the king of the hill. There ain't no doubt about it, especially after everybody who we talked about. Um, I'm that dude with the beard. He's Mr. KC from Air 13. He don't need to say nothing else. He got to put his cup down. We love y'all. We're going to see y'all next time. We out of here.
Bye, folks.